Hello, Durud and Shalom. Guys, we have so much to talk about. First of all, there was a massive explosion in Erbil, the Kurdistan region of Iraq, after we had kamikaze drones by the Iranian regime there being used against the Kurdistan region. So there's a lot of backlash to that. Then we have Hamas agreeing to disarm, which I don't know if we could even trust that. I bet not. There's a lot of skepticism regarding that. Some people are calling it the end of Hamas. Some people are saying not so fast. But guys, how's my audio? Let me know, because we're going to jump into a group call very soon. We have the proxies of the Islamic Republic. They just launched a drone attack on Egypt. The war is expanding to Ukraine and Egypt. So Egyptian port infrastructure near the Suez Canal was attacked by the Islamic Republic. So Egypt is being dragged into this war, which is a big deal. And then we might even talk about the mass Islamic invasion of Spain that is happening as we speak. But let me speak less, and let's just jump into our group call right now. So guys, this is our group discussion. The link is in the QR code on the top left. The link is in the description. Let me just see who's already there. Okay, we already have some people here. They're probably already speaking about something, but I'm going to try to get in quickly and make sure that we get to these 4 topics that I just mentioned, because there's a lot to talk about. Let me see. Okay.
Here's Armin.
Hello.
Hey, Armin. Bye, Armin.
Hi.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying hi because I have to go.
Okay.
I love you, miss you. Bye.
Love you, miss you. Bye. Okay, love you. All right, guys. Hi, everyone. Okay, I see Nail Bunny is already here. Nail Bunny, would you be modding for us? Thank you so much. Sapir is here too. Okay, Nail Bunny. Yeah. Okay, you can't. Yeah, Nail Bunny. We go with Nail Bunny today because Sapir has been modding a lot. But Sapir, what did you say? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I was about to say that I can mod, like.
Oh, okay. Because Nail Bunny has been modding to before, so let's Sapir, can you mod? Thank you so much, sir. Because let's give Nail Bunny a break. Thank you so much, Sapir. Sorry guys, I shouldn't assume who's modding. Sorry, I should just ask. Next time I would not assume. Next time I'll just ask. Okay?
It's okay.
Okay. So let me just quickly, before we talk to you guys and see what you guys have to say, I'll just tell you the big 4 news that I think we should be. I want to hear your opinions on. So I'll go through these. I'll first give you the headlines, and then I'll go through a little bit of a summary on each. And then as I'm speaking, if you guys want to talk about it, put a 2 in the chat before we go to the ones that you guys have. So first of all, we have a massive giant explosion in Erbil that just happened. These are all from the past 24 hours. We had kamikaze drone strikes deployed by the Iranian regime, struck the Kurdish opposition bases in northern Iraq. So that's number 1. Number 2, we have Hamas agreed to a draft disarmament framework. This is again in the past 24 hours, but there's a lot of skepticism regarding whether both sides will actually fulfill the multi-stage peace plan. I would, if I was a betting man, I would bet on not. Then we have the third one. We have proxies of the Islamic Republic launch a drone strike on Egyptian port. Guys, the war is expanding. First, we're going to Ukraine. Now we're going all the way to Egypt. Egypt is being dragged into the war. The geographic area where this war is being covered is basically getting more. Now we're getting to North Africa. So Egyptian port infrastructure near the Suez Canal. So now we get 3 ports, 3 waterways, guys. We had the Strait of Hormuz. We have the Bab el-Mandab. Now we have the now we have the Suez Canal. So Bab el-Mandab, Strait of Hormuz, and now Suez Canal is being added. So sparking major security alarms across global trade routes. And then the 4th one is, if you guys want to talk about the mass Islamic invasion of Spain in the city of, I don't know how to. People keep hearing the pronunciation. Ceuta. I don't know how to pronounce it.
My voice is gone. Cuenta.
There's no endo. Cuenta.
And it doesn't. It's Spanish.
It's just Spanish.
It's Spanish. Cuenta. Okay, Cuenta. Wow, that's pretty misleading. Ceuta, there's a major European border crisis there. So quickly, I will explain each one of these now that you know the headlines. So the kamikaze drone strikes rocked Erbil, causing massive fireballs and heavy damage to Kurdish party base. Which, you know what, I don't mind that at all. The attack was conducted by the Iranian regime as part of the continuous military campaign against northern Iraq. You know, when it comes to the separatist groups and the Islamic Republic fighting each other, I mean, I think go at it as much as you want. You know, I wish you both success. Air defense batteries near U.S. facilities in Erbil were activated. I mean, I feel bad for the Kurdish people in Iraq, okay, but if any separatist groups bases are being taken out, that's fine. And American warplanes scrambled to protect the region. Also, let me be clear. I also don't think the border integrity of Iraq being violated. I'm against that as well. So the attacks by the Islamic republics have repeatedly hit camps, civilian homes. Yep, that's bad actually, and opposition headquarters in Iraqi Kurdistan throughout July. So that's that. The Hamas one that I think, like, I hope a lot of you have something to say about, because I want, especially Sapir. I want to hear what you think about this, because I'm very skeptical about this being meaningful at all, about it being anything. So Hamas conditionally accepted a draft roadmap for phased disarmament in Gaza. U.S. President Donald Trump praised the deal brokered by the Board of Peace as a historic breakthrough. So, guys, Board of Peace is President Trump's basically competition to United Nations, which I celebrate, but I don't celebrate this plan. I think competition to United Nations is good. So the plan relies on independent verification rather than trust, transferring weapons to a neutral Palestinian committee. Yeah, Palestinian committee, basically one terrorist group giving weapons to another terrorist group. That's what it sounds like to me, Palestinian committee. Anything Palestinian is terroristic. Implementation faces major risk due to political resistance in Israel and attempts by the regime in Iran to sabotage the deal. The process could take up to 350 days, meaning the threat posed by Hamas is far from immediately over. And then the other one that I just talked about was the drone strike hit a U.S.-owned gas tanker in the Egyptian Mediterranean port. I can't read the person's name. I wish it was written in Arabic. It would be easier to pronounce for me. Egyptian cabinet confirmed the blaze was a deliberate air attack near the Suez Canal. Maritime security experts heavily attribute the attack to proxy forces backed by the Iranian regime. The strike threatens global shipping routes alternative to the Persian Gulf and the Red Sea. Egypt joined an international maritime defense coalition to protect regional waterways. Saudi Arabia is trying to, by the way, make a coalition of Arab countries and also not just Arab countries, but all countries to push back against the Islamic Republic. We'll see how successful that. And the Spain story, I think most of you have already seen the crazy footages. It's like World War Z, tens of thousands. I think it's like more than 50,000. Some people are saying 100,000. Tens of thousands of migrants crossed Morocco into Spanish enclave of oh my God, I already forgot the city's name. Ceuta, Ceuta, something like that. Ceuta. Okay. Spain deployed military forces very late, by the way, and maritime units to secure the border as reception centers reach capacity. There were here over 50,000 migrants were returned. No, over 25,000 migrants were returned, while dozens lost their lives in the sea crossing. The crisis was okay. So I'm not going to read the rest of it. I just wanted you guys to speak. But guys, a lot of people are saying this is what you get when you have a commie government in Spain, and a lot of people are pointing out to how much the president of Spain was attacking Israel for defending their borders. Maybe they should have focused on defending their own borders instead of attacking Israel for defending theirs. Anyways, I'm going to stop talking. Sorry for the long intro. Were there any twos on any of these topics in the chat?
Yes, there is now, and I have a full response for everything, but
Okay.
but I'll let Noah go first.
Thank you, Sapir. I did. That is good that Spain sent sounded like it's military to the border, and I'm not going to even pronounce the name because I'll butcher it too. But I wish they had done it sooner, like beforehand, because hopefully this is a lesson to them that they need to have stronger borders and not have open borders all the time, because open borders don't work. So, but yeah, that's my main response on that.
Thank you, Noah. I would just say about, if we're starting with the Spain thing, they now claiming that they returned 48,000 back. They only deployed the military after there were enough video footage of Moroccans breaking into houses. Like, throughout the entire time they got into the country, there was nothing. It was only when there were enough videos of breaking into stores, of like, it's a city of 80,000 people. You can't just, but only then they sent the military. They were very reluctant too. So I think it's an important thing to do. Today in the stream, me and Guy talked about it a bit because someone asked our opinion, and like someone said, should Israel send something, a way to help them? And we were like, nah, this is what you get for accepting this. Because in the end, and I think it's something that's really important to say, even though a lot of people in Europe love to say that they don't agree with everything that's happening, or that they are against all this taking over, in the end there's enough of a voter base for the people that wanted all of this for them to rise to the power. So we need to ask ourselves, how many people do we have today that are truly against this? How many of the voters are truly against this? Because there is a huge community that is for it. But that's about Spain. Kathy?
So what we looked it up in the previous stream. Apparently, most Spanish people didn't vote for this president. So that's why we should like feel bad for the Spanish people. Like more than 80% of the Spanish people didn't actually vote for this president. It's just the way that their elections work. Yeah.
Then I need to look up the way their elections work.
Yeah, it's weird.
Okay, Samantha.
Like, looking back, because it's like, I know what it is like being that far leftist person who, like, my reaction to that news would have been to insist that, like, these are just people who want a better life coming into Spain, and anyone who thinks otherwise is racist, and not be able to have any other conversation past that. So it's like, I'm like mentally trying to, like, I don't know, think back to what that was like, and like, yeah, how do you, because it's like, I don't know how to like reach people.
Well, how would you, if somebody right now, what's your argument against that? So as somebody who used to think like that, how would you push back against that claim yourself?
I had to, like, honestly, because I truly believed that, like, somewhat, like, there's no correlation between where someone grew up and, like, what values or, like, actions someone would do in life. And I had to, like, understand, like, but, like, at the same time, I did have, like, specific examples that were very contradictory to that. And I never, like, looked at the two together and said, wait, these both can't be correct because these both directly contradict each other. Like, it can't be true that someone from one country can't, on average be more, like, what's it called, like, sexist than someone from another country on average. But at the same time, I knew someone from Afghanistan right now is more sexist than, like, I had, like, little examples that kind of, like, broke that I didn't, like, realize, like, wait, I actually have a few examples, like, and I just never thought about the two together to, like, break that. And that's kind of, like, what it took in a weird way, was, like, being like, wait, isn't this, like, a contradiction? And I don't know how I never, like, had that moment earlier in life where I'm like, wait, I can't think both these things.
Okay. If you had to explain to somebody who still thinks like that in two lines only, something that you think would be the most effective in making them consider your new perspective, what would you say based on your understanding of how they think?
That like we're a product of our experience, and like if you can believe that there was a time where the average German was more anti-Semitic than like the average American was at that time, then by definition you believe that it's possible for people in one country to be more anti-Semitic on average than people from another country. So like, why are you so convinced that like, you know, just because of melanin that like it can't, like, you know, we can't have a certain situation of thought?
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. That's helpful. Good to know these things. All right, because I don't know what's works on these people. You know better.
Kathy.
So at this point, I'm wondering, now that they're in the Spanish territory, I don't know how in the world does the government intend to give all these people asylum, as it's going to overwhelm the system. At the same time, I don't think they were anticipating this many people coming in. So, yeah, I don't like. It's astonishing. I don't even know what to think by watching all of these videos on regarding what's happening.
Thank you. Monkey? Monkey muted.
I wanted to point out something that some people are maybe not understanding. This is not on the Spain side of the Strait of Gibraltar. This is on the Moroccan side of the Strait of Gibraltar. There's a little section at the corner of the Moroccan side of the Strait of Gibraltar that is Spanish territory, right? So these people can't just walk over to to Portugal. They can't do that. They're on the other side of the sea, right? There's no way for them to walk over anywhere but that little corner. All right. So that situation needs to be highlighted. Another thing is that me and Armin checked out like the voting support that this president has. It was not just 84% did not vote for it. I think they do some kind of parliamentary coalition government shit, and that's how they got into power. Like a whole bunch of leftist organizations pulled together their sides, and this is why I hate that you can't directly vote for your president over in a lot of places, because I think that's how you wind up getting Keir Starmer. That's how you wind up getting a lot of these assholes that don't have the charisma or the support to pull it off on their own, and that's what happened over there. And I think those 2 points are very important. That also, I don't think that this is America's revenge against Spain for winning the World Cup. I think that's a little ridiculous. I also don't think, like Nick Fuentes was trying to say, that the Jews are doing this because they want the Islam to control NATO's nuclear arsenal. I think that's also stupid. I think this is basically a lot of NGOs that have done this kind of thing before. They have done it all over South America. They have done it specifically in Africa before. And one of the things they do is they help guide, they help support, they help they help these people find a way to the north. UNRWA is just one of the terrible UN NGOs. I'm sure there's many more, and I'm sure there's other NGOs that aren't related directly to UN that would also aid and assist in this.
Okay, thank you, Monkey. Nail Bunny.
Yeah, I think it's probably similar to the UK, where because he's prime minister, people vote for that party, and then that party wins, and then they have the most seats, and so then he's the prime minister. That's probably what it is. Yeah, so you can't vote for him at all. But it sounds very similar to here as well, because I think Labour got put in power with 22% of the vote, which is crazy, obviously. One of the things no one's really mentioned yet is that Giorgia Meloni is actually saying that Spain should be thrown out of Schengen. Now that's a big deal, a very big deal. That means if you're not in Schengen, there's no you're basically not in the EU. You know, maybe they'll have a seat or something, but anyway, it's essentially saying your wall, the wall around Spain, it's not porous now. You can't just, there's no freedom of movement between Spain and all the other countries in the EU. That is a big deal.
I'm sorry, Nail Bunny, what is Schengen?
Schengen is it's just part of like the EU charter. It's about so basically as a bloc, if you're in the EU, it's a trading bloc. You have seats in the European Parliament, but it's also things about it's called freedom of movement. So freedom of movement means that when we were in the EU, if I got a job in France, you know, I would have to obey, you know, so they would have their rules about, you know, being able to make enough money to, you know, support myself. I'm not going to be on benefits or something like that. But if I get a job in the EU, anywhere in the EU, I can just move there and I can take up that job. And that's why when the UK left the EU, suddenly all these people that were European who were, you know, they were EU citizens, and they had to essentially apply to be citizens of the UK or go back home, basically. So it was kind of chaotic there. But what she's basically saying is, if this guy is going to just have the borders completely open and everybody floods in, well, then that means if they go into Spain, they can go into any of the countries in the EU because they came from Spain. And if he keeps doing the same things that he's doing, like giving them voting rights and probably citizenship, all this crap, then it's like you are not following the rules of the EU. You need to be thrown out of the EU. Now, if they're thrown out of the EU, oh wow, it's going to be worse, more chaos than what you're looking at right now. And another thing that, if anybody, I've seen this online, is that people saying, oh, well, you know, it belongs to Morocco, right? You know, they should just take it or whatever. It's probably theirs anyway. You know, Spain is being imperialistic by having that region at the tip of Morocco. But the fact is that it's been Spanish for over 6 centuries. So it's, you know, it basically, I think, what is it? I have it written down. It's conquered by Portugal in 1415, and then it became part of Spain, and it's been Spanish ever since. So those people that are living there, they are Spanish, and that has been Spanish land for a very, very, very long time. So, you know, that's basically just bullshit.
Okay, thank you. I'm just going to read out something that Jose had to say. The bigger threat is the Muslim invasion over the northern border with France. In 50 to 60 years can make it walking to the Camino de Santiago. Is that right? Thank you. Well, you know, so basically the bigger threat is not even from the Moroccan side, but the border with France. Next one is Kore. Kara, how do I say your name?
Kåre.
Kore.
Okay, anyway. My point has, since I wrote that too, by the way, thank you for making me VIP. My point has already been said now by Nail Bunny after I put the two in the chat, but I can just confirm what she said, that Spain has a parliamentary system where who is the prime minister is dependent on a majority in the parliament. And currently they have a socialist prime minister in Spain, and they have an election next year where the right is strongly in the lead in the polls, but it will only be in a year from now.
Okay, thank you, Cora. I'm trying. Sophie?
I actually was just trying to respond, the fact that Nail Bunny was saying nobody was talking about it. I literally was in chat, and I understand some people don't read chat, but I actually had just watched Tusi, and I was going to talk about the Schengen thing and the thing about Georgia Meloni. I think it's fantastic, her moves that she's made. She is a Euro skeptic. She did close different borders. She's removing them from the agreement, and she was taking other actions and movements. But anyway, Nail Bunny covered it. I just literally was talking about it. That's okay. I just was responding to the fact that when someone says no one's talking about something, sometimes we're putting things in chat and other people are just not reading it.
Yeah,
And
no one usually means not that many people, not like literally, not a single person is talking about it. Like obviously some people are talking
about it. And in general, I can.
Sorry. He literally just wrote no one had mentioned it, and okay, there's mentioning audibly and there's mentioning in chat. Anyway, I just want to move on, but like it was said no one.
It's not a big deal. Okay, it's a figure of speech. That's okay. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, and just a reminder that you can always read from the chat, and if someone wants if someone wants to just type something, I can always read it out for you, like I did with Jose. And yeah, it can happen. All good. Super chats. 5 super chats.
Oh yes, thank you. Yes, so Orhish or O'Hare, I'm just gonna call it O'Hare, saying 2-state solution with Madrid as shared capital. Oh my god, 2-state solution with Madrid as shared capital. Oh my god, no. So
we actually have so many memes now because there were so many Israelis that got a bit pissed about how Spain reacted ever since October 7th. So now you just have all those passive aggressive Israeli memes of like I'm reminding to Spain to remain restrained and to restrain themselves, and may I offer a 2-state solution, and we have like maps.
Yes,
it's
Spain,
silly.
stop being an apartheid and stop committing genocide on the Moroccan people, please, and let's offer them a 2-state solution. But guys, we're joking because again, this is not fair to the Spanish people. They didn't vote for this. Sorry, I said president, prime minister. They didn't vote for him. There are many patriotic Spanish people who are not okay with this. But I appreciate, like, the memes are good. The memes are good. Keep the memes coming. But also, let's not blame all people. Like, there are so many people in Spain that are attacking their government for, like, basically you've been attacking Israel for what you should have been doing for your own borders. So there's that. So a lot of these attacks are coming from Spain itself. And Spanish people out there, we see you. The patriotic Spanish people, we see you. The people who are against Islam, against mass migration, we're not grouping you in with your government. And thank you. But good meme. Shira saying, doesn't matter, the army isn't doing anything. That's what I've heard, that they're not doing anything meaningful. Is that accurate? Is that what you guys heard? Because I saw something that demonstrated that.
They've claimed that they have returned 48,000 out of 550 50,000. So like they were just deployed late. This is the reports I've seen. How much is true? I'm not sure.
Let me see if I could find any information. All right. Okay, so Spanish troops deployed on July 30th were largely constrained due to humanitarian and logistical tasks due to legal mandates. So even when they were there, they couldn't do much because they were humanitarian constraints. Frontline border officers on July 31st confirmed the military presence failed to stem the physical influx of crossings. So the super chat is correct, apparently. Thank you, Shira. Which is a shame. Guys, do not give up on Europe. Do not do it. Do not do it. Europe is Western civilization. Do not say that Spain has fallen, UK has fallen, France has fallen. Do not say that. There needs to be a backlash. There will be a backlash. This is Western civilization that we're speaking. Do not give it up. We need to fight, fight, fight. Do not be a defeatist. And thank you. Casey with a super chat saying this was done for the same reason Democrats did it. Yep, exactly. Yep. I mean, you saw an invasion. The leftists saw votes. These are all future votes. Like if leftists look at this, like, oh my God, this is beautiful. I hope you have so many babies. Remember who let you in. Keep votes for us. Thank you. Thank you, Casey. Boboism saying 1/3 of the Jews in New York voted for Mamdani. And I just checked that, and I was wondering if this is accurate. And it was more accurate than I thought, because I thought it would be roughly 1/3, but it's exactly 33%, which is as close to 1/3 as you could get. So official exit poll data confirms that exactly 1/3, 33% of Jewish New Yorkers voted for Zohran Mamdani in the November 2025 election. This significant backing was driven by strong support among progressive and younger Jewish voters who prioritize local affordability reform. So they don't understand what leads to affordability. That's a shame. 1/3. That's huge. That's a big number. Thank you for telling us that. I didn't know that. AP Moto Arts with a super chat saying, give Trump a domestic win by supporting the Hamas deal, no matter how you feel. Gratitude, winky face. What do you guys think about the Hamas deal, by the way? I want to hear more of you, because I'm very skeptical.
That's like my one.
Oh,
so
okay, that's your one. So let's not talk about it. Let's get to it when we get to Sapir. Sorry. Okay. All right. But when we get to it, do an intro on it, just so that when we cut that area, people know what the hell we're talking about. So what are we doing? I see some more twos in the chat.
Yeah, there were more too. So Amy, she said to take it off. Amy, do you want to talk or not?
Do you think that the reason that they're invading that part of Spain is because it's just it's so close to Morocco? I mean, it's just convenient for them.
It is very convenient to the point that the territory that is connected.
Right.
They don't have to swim across. Like, it's basically on the other, and it's in Africa. It's part of Spain in Africa. They literally have to swim just across the fence. Yeah. And Nail Bunny has an answer, I think, to this. She put it too in the chat.
Yeah. But first, Samantha.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. So someone who's very anti-Mamdani, and I do want to say, though, to be fair to New York Jews, Mamdani got about half the votes that a Democratic candidate normally gets from Jews, because normally the Democratic candidate gets about 2/3 of the Jewish vote. So that is significant. But yeah, no, I think they're crazy. I think any Jew who voted for Mamdani is an idiot who gets what they deserved.
Well, I don't think anybody deserves a horrible life, but I do think that this shows that we need to teach people about the economy in an efficient way, because this is why bad ideas can infiltrate your Western societies, not based on, because a lot of these people have really horrible ideas, but they don't come with that. They don't express that. They hide that. They keep that, in their pocket. But what they do show you is economic policies that sounds good on paper, but it doesn't really work. So that's how they make it in, by
I like
talking
these
about
economic policies.
yeah, that's the problem, that you don't understand how economics works. Like, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You don't understand how the economy works, and we need to teach people how the economy works, because people's lack of understanding of how the economy works makes these people bring in their garbage ideas by pretending that their economic policies work. And people care about their economy more than they care about other things on average. All right.
Okay, Nail Bunny.
Yeah, so their intention is to, spill over into the beaches, in the protectorate, and then get on the ferries and go to Spain. So that was the goal. Now, I don't know if they've actually returned that many people. I doubt it, because I haven't seen very little in how many vehicles they actually had. I don't believe it, but they'll basically take over the ferries, and quite frankly, they can pretty much take over anything at this point. The population of the protectorate is 80,000, and the estimate was that 80,000 came in. It was like 12,000 an hour. It was crazy. So it's 1-to-1 there, and they're telling the women to stay home so they don't get gang raped. It's horrific. So yeah, they'll get onto ferries and go to the mainland, and they know that Pedro Sanchez will take care of them.
Okay, and one super chat.
Oh yes. Oh, actually, there's two. Zipgun, thank you. Zipgun, thank you so much for one just came. Zipgun, thank you so much for the super chat, saying 67 of Jewish New Yorkers are under 30 voted for Mamdani. Oh my, okay. So the number, if you consider younger Jews in New York under 30, is like a lot higher than 1/3. It's like 2/3, more than 2/3, right? Voted for Mamdani. A lot of young New York Jews have no Jewish roots. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the problem is not Jewish roots. The problem is ignorance of how the economy works. People just like, hey, do you like free stuff? Who doesn't like free stuff? You want free stuff? You want things to get cheaper? I have a magic wand. I'll wave my magic wand and things will get cheaper. Do you want to rent not go higher? Do you want free food? Do you want cheap food? You want people are like, yeah, I like that. I want my rent not to go up. I want not to pay for food. That sounds great. Hey, we love poor people. We will support are you anti-poor people? Are you against? Do you hate the homeless people? Do you want people to starve? Are you pro-rich and anti-poor? Like, no, I don't know. No, I'm not. Fuck the rich people. Like, yeah, I'm pro-poor people and against rich people. Yeah, that sounds like me, right? So this is just. That's what it's not about being Jew, not being Jew. It's about people not understanding what creates prosperity, what actually bring people just sound by things that sounds positive, things that you could say that sounds like you care about the poor, but not actually have a plan to make it happen. Just magically, they think like it's a spell. Those people want the poor people to suffer. We want the poor people to get rich. Okay, what's your plan? How about we go get the rich people money and give it to the poor? That will solve it. That sounds like it will solve it. I mean, I don't have to go do some research. Yeah, those people, some people have more, some people have less. These people are too poor. Let's go take it from the rich and give it to the poor. In my mind, that sounds like it will work. Like, because I haven't studied anything about how the economy works. It's just like if the problem is some people don't have enough money, how about we just go take it from the people who have money? So that just sounds in your head like, yeah, obviously, and you don't understand why this backfires, and that's how people win elections. We need to find a simple way to explain to people how that kills productivity, how that it's not about wealth redistribution, it's about wealth production, it's about wealth generation, and redistributing wealth destroys wealth generation and makes people poorer. Somehow we need to explain that to people in an easy to understand way. And thank you, Zipgun, for the super chat. Kevin with the membership. Thank you so much, Kevin, for the membership gift to the people in the chat. Always supporting us, and thank you for your service as well. That's the best gift. Oh my God, we got more super chats. I'll go through it. So Kelly with the super chat saying, EU no longer has a stomach for what it would take to fix this. Ruthlessly remove people, even those who have been there for decades, go back to being the old Europeans the left hate. We are long away from 1492. I do think they have this. I think they have the stomach. This will radicalize people. What you're witnessing, there will be a pushback to this. People are not just going to sit back and accept this. At some point, people are like, okay, that's enough. And I think there will be a backlash. And thank you, Kelly, for the super chat. Jasper with the super chat saying, as a Dutchman, I totally agree. We should fight for Europe. The resistance keeps growing, and thought it will be, and though it would be hard, I'm sure we'll win if we keep and regain faith in ourselves and take action. That's the attitude I'm looking for. Thank you, Jasper. And you're right. Patriots are finding each other. They're growing. Patriotic movements are growing all across Europe. Do not give up. Fight. And last super chat by Roman Viking saying, what brings prosperity? Liberty. Liberty brings prosperity. But yeah, I'm not going to go into it a lot of detail because we want to get to other people's discussion. But yes, liberty brings prosperity. Thank you, Roman Vikings. And that's why I support capitalism, because capitalism means liberty for business. All right, who's next?
Okay, so next is my topic, which is about the recent Hamas deal.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll start by saying that this deal was not made by Israel and Hamas. It was made by supposedly a Hamas representative and the Americans, just like there was with America and Hezbollah. We already know from the America and Hezbollah deal that didn't hold up. This one is definitely not going to hold up. Both Hamas and Israel already announced that they have problems with it. Hamas basically declared that they will only actually have a list of demands that they gave, because even after the US publicized what the deal is, they said it's inaccurate and they have their own conditions. Let me find it real quick. And here we go. Okay. So basically, Hamas said that first of all, wait, let me, sorry, got out. Okay, so Hamas says that they will not dismantle the weaponry until Israel fully gets out of the Gaza Strip completely, including the yellow line that was established. Two, that they will get the time to recover and to gather up. Three, that they will get more aid, more than they already getting. And four, that basically they will keep representatives of them in power. And they basically claim that they want a Palestinian leadership but they also said that they want specifically them to be gathered up again. So that means they want to be part of that leadership. So obviously this won't go, and immediately after that we had already Israeli officials that were like, no, we're not doing this. We are definitely not even considering to leave Gaza, and especially not the safe zones that we made there. We're not gonna do it until Hamas dismantles itself, which Hamas replied that they won't. And then you also had the Jihad, which is a separate group but with ties to Hamas. The jihadi group that was like, we are not part of this deal, therefore we will keep our own weapons and we will keep doing what we're doing. So this entire thing is for show, and I think that it's something that we've seen many times, especially in the recent year, about deals that Trump keep announcing, that America in general keeps announcing that are going to happen, but Israel is never even involved of any of those talks. None of it is really going to happen. Some people think it's just to get more points for Trump. Some people think it's to get the justification to be like, oh, see, Hamas doesn't want to engage with us, so we can continue this war. Either way, nothing of this will happen. They won't come out, anything of that. And I think that's the one thing that every Israeli from the right and from the left agrees on. It's just not gonna work. Okay. Noah wanted to respond.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see Hamas fully complying with this deal, and that's mainly because of their nature. It's in their blood, quote unquote. I think they'll give up some weapons to show that they are complying, but they'll keep the majority of them. And at the end of the day, they're not going to completely stop terrorizing Israel until they're fully dismantled. So that's my take on that.
I will also add that they have declared that they are only willing to give up heavy weaponry. That means things like sidearms or private rifles and all kind of stuff like that. They basically said that they won't give up on any of it. So that's another meaningless part of that deal. Next one to respond is Armin.
Oh yeah, so the main thing they're demanding is an independent Palestinian state in exchange for this, which is ridiculous. So that's never going to happen. That's not negotiable for Israel. So just based on that, that means that none of this is real. Israel is not going to accept that, and they're saying they're not going to give up their arms unless that happens. And there's a lot of deadlocks because Israel is going to refuse to pull out the troops from before the total disarmament, and Hamas refuses to disarm before the total withdrawal. So there's that. Even if there is disarmament, that means that basically they're going to change their branding. Like, oh, yesterday we were Hamas. Today Hamas doesn't have any guns. Today is this other group that we just created that is now the new Palestinian Authority or whatever, and we just happen to join it. So it's just basically taking the guns from one hand and just giving it to themselves to the other hand. We're like, we just disarmed. We have these arms under another name, which is not Hamas. So also, by the way, this deal apparently allows them to hold on to light weapons. So that means that even under the deal, thousands of armed Hamas fighters will have light weapons. So it's not even a complete disarmament. And like Sapir mentioned, there are many other groups other than Hamas, like Islamic Jihad, that would love for Hamas to be disarmed so that they could be the Islamic Jihad group in Gaza. And also, here's one thing that people need to understand. What is the root cause? The root cause is not Hamas. The root cause is the Islamic Republic. There is always going to be motivation and funding and resources for creating Islamic groups in Gaza and Judea and Samaria and Lebanon and Syria and Iraq and Yemen against Israeli and American interests in the region. So this is like whack-a-mole. Like if you keep it, there is enough people motivated to do that, and there is enough funding to go towards this to create that. You can't just keep, cutting the branches without going at the root of this. The root of this is in Tehran. The root of this is the Islamic Republic. It doesn't matter how many times you cut this; it keeps growing back. So just go to solve this once and for all. There is no Hamas solution. There is no Hezbollah solution. There is no Hormuz solution. There is no enrichment uranium solution. There is no Bab el-Mandeb solution. There is no Houthi solution. There is no Iraq solution. There is only one solution: regime change in Iran and the return of Pahlavi to Iran. The whole region needs a Shah. It's not Iran that needs a Shah. The whole region needs a Shah. The Shah was the security guarantor of the region before the Islamic Revolution, and all of this mess started because we lost the Shah. It's not just we Iranian people that lost the Shah. The whole world lost the Shah. All right.
Thank you, Armin. Next one to respond is Shoana.
Yeah. I mean, everything Armin said, correct. But also, like, the biggest issue too, though, is quite frankly, like 80% of Gaza are terrorists, and the 20% that aren't are children training to become terrorists. So, like, the idea that they could have access to any weapons is insane to me. The fact that they're even, quite frankly, allowed to be alive after what they did is, I don't even like that they are alive to make a negotiation with. I have to be really honest. These terrorists. I'm not saying people should go in and do things extra legally. I'm not calling for vigilantism. These people are evil, done evil things. They want to do more evil things. There is nothing wholesome there to save. Like, I'm sorry. I just don't think that these people have human souls left to save. So the fact that they're even being allowed to negotiate is just kind of pisses me off. And I don't know, like, what the solution is there other than what Armin said, which is cutting off the funding. But quite frankly, I think we should cut off the funding and then do what I always want to do, which is unleash the Jews and let them go take care of business. Like, that's how I feel. Like, we were talking earlier on Guy's channel about Ben Gvir, and there's lots of problems with Ben Gvir. I get it. But at the same time, when I look at Hamas, he starts to sound kind of reasonable when you're talking about specifically Hamas. It's just, it's, they just need to be taken care of. They just need to they don't need to exist. I'm sorry, that sounds really violent, but after what happened on October 7th and the fact that they want to do it again, and the fact that they have absolutely no motivation to disarm. And I'm so mad at Western nations and Witkoff and Kushner to the extent that he was involved, and Blair and all of those guys who are acting like this is somehow an equal agreement. Like, what do you mean? Like, there's people who are satanic, and then there are Israelis who are just normal people. That's it. Those are the two. That's what you're dealing with. And they're being put on the same footing. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And I don't understand how it's not clear to the rest of the world. but again, I guess we have to cut off the head of the octopus, and then we have to go take care of all of the flanks. That's kind of how I feel. So
quick response to that. Yeah, obviously we should unleash the Israelis to be able to take care of this, and they do such a great job at it. But the problem is, no matter how good they are at cutting out the tentacles, at the end of the day, without at the same time of unleashing Israelis, you need to also unleash the Iranian people, because there is no way to get rid of this. Yeah, unless, let me finish. Without regime change, like as good as the Israelis are, this keeps growing back. And the Americans and Israelis, there's no pushing the Islamic Republic over the edge completely unless there is a uprising in Iran that does the final step. Like there is no, and this is an asset that the Americans and Israelis have that they should be using. That's the final step, the uprising of the Iranian people. I don't think without that, this job will ever be complete. Yeah, but I'm not negating you, by the way. I'm just adding to it.
Okay. I just want to make sure that it's understood that I do believe there's an order of operations here. So, like, I just wanted to clarify that wasn't misunderstood. You have to free the Iranians, get rid of the IRGC, cut off that head, and then you can handle the tentacles, because the tentacles will not be able to be refunded until they have funding through the IRGC and their like Western allies. That's just reality. So you have to get rid of the regime first, and then you have to tell the West and the United Nations, quote unquote, that they're gonna stop acting like dickwads, and then you got to take care of the tentacles that are flopping around. So that there is an order of operations, absolutely. Just to be clear where I stand.
Thank you. Yeah, it just a lot of Israelis are pissed about it. A lot of Israelis keep talking about why is anyone even amusing? What happened to we don't negotiate with terrorists? What happened to releasing hell upon earth? Like what? A lot of Israelis are really angry, and there is actually, and me and Guy talked about it in the stream. We have a lot of Israelis have deal fatigue. Because all those deals that are being talked about all the time, they so obviously not gonna happen. If it's with the IRGC or with Hezbollah or with Hamas or with Jihad, or the Islamic Jihad, they're just not gonna happen. There's a reason we say that you don't deal with terrorists, because they lie, because they won't listen, because we tried it before, because we had a deal with Hezbollah in 2006 and nothing happened, and because there was a deal with the IRGC in 2014 and nothing happened. It's not gonna happen. Hamas broke more than 20 ceasefires since 2006. You can't deal with them. But yeah, sorry, just wanted to say that real quick. Monkey also wanted to respond.
I think this is retarded. I think the best way to describe it is retarded. I don't think there is a better way to describe it than retarded. Like if I was going to steel man the situation, I would say, well, maybe the Egyptians are going to beat the snot out of the Hamas because the Egyptians hate Hamas. But you would need, number one, to not have enough trouble with your locals if you do that. Number two, the amount of force necessary to do that. You need a lot of personnel to do that. And you would also need to not be so afraid of your own populace that you can't do that. Like I'm very well aware, right, that the Egyptian police don't like Hamas. I'm well aware of that. Qatar loves them. Turkey. Well, no, I don't think Turkey likes Hamas because they're like kind of like Hezbollah. Like I don't think Turkey likes them. Like that, I'm guessing they like the use of them. They like how much they bother Israel, but I wouldn't see them as loving them. Right now, I know Egypt does. Like if you were gonna like, oh, it's kind of logical. Egypt does hate Hamas. Like the bigger wall is on the Egyptian side. It's an open air prison because Egypt doesn't like them, keeps them walled in for good reason. But to try to stretch that into these three people, only one of them is near, is going to take care of the situation. That's a big stretch. It's retarded. It's not going to work. Everybody is sick of no progress on the Iran thing. No one wants to wait for the next round of strikes. You need some good news, so you throw this bullshit out there. But I know Egypt isn't going to be able to do it, and Turkey and Qatar are just too fucking far.
Okay, thank you, Monkey. Sid?
I wanted to bring up a video I watched yesterday, which I think is relevant. It was this guy, Yosef Cohen, Israel Advocacy Movement. So he had a conversation with it's a Palestinian Arab based in Hebron, and it was like actually two conversations that were merged together. That they were very good. So this guy was saying, this is a very recent. I'll put a link in the chat. But this guy was saying that he had some substantive criticisms for Israel, but he was basically saying the problem is the Palestinian narrative. The Palestinian narrative, the Palestinian identity prevents any possibility of peaceful coexistence, and basically it's like we have to reject that identity and we have to construct a new identity. He seemed pretty knowledgeable about the history as well. So anyways, I mean, this is just one guy. I know that there is some tiny segment of the Arab population in the Levant that is enlightened on these issues, and it's not very representative. But there was one really interesting moment, like right at the end of the video, where he said, this Arab fellow said, totally unprompted, you have to take care of the Iranians. I mean, I think some people here would cringe at the at the labeling of the situation in Iranians. He meant the Islamic Republic. But what he was saying is that they promote this toxic identity that is constructed to make us fight each other. And so I think that's like. I think that backs up the idea that without the elimination of the regime, we are in a forever war. You know, we're in a forever war because that's their incentive. Their incentive is to keep the wars going. No, I mean, I think that for Israel, it means like, okay, they're in a multi-front war. They have to worry about Hamas. They have to worry about Hezbollah. They have to worry about other threats, and you know, as long as the Islamic Republic is there, it doesn't mean that like, okay, we can't worry about anything else. Of course, it's a multi-front war, but I do think that so much of the toxicity is downstream from the IR. It's not only its military, its fighters, but also its propaganda, its wealth, its networks, its diplomatic international networks. All of it is downstream from that. So yeah, I mean, even I see Shauna mentioned Qatar. I think even Qatar, I mean, yeah, they are a problem, and I would say like the Muslim Brotherhood is independently a source of toxicity. I mean, I think Egypt. Somebody mentioned Egypt. Even Egypt's attitude towards the Brotherhood is like brotherhood for thee and not for me. Like we don't want it here, but we're sort of like we're happy to encourage it in Gaza and elsewhere. So yeah, I maybe I don't want to be too reductionist and say everything is the IR, but the IR is a really key sort of, I would say, keystone foundational piece of the toxicity that that ends up with this massive security challenge for Israel.
Okay, thank you, Dajjal.
Yeah, these people can't be trusted in any way, shape, or form. This whole fucking deal, whatever the fuck you want to call it, it's not going to happen. They're not going to give up their weapons. They're going to pretend like they are. Maybe they'll give up some, just to make all the retards in the West think that they're actually doing it, but they're not going to do it. This is a total waste of time. They're going to violate the deal, and then Israel should just take that as an opportunity to go in and finish the job. I mean, frankly, I think they should just do that now and just say fuck it and stop caring what other people think. And if Trump don't like it, too bad. I really don't give a shit. He'll get over it. These people, this is a completely rotten society. It's a terrorist society. The only thing they exist for is to kill Jews and infidels. They want to destroy Israel, kill all the Jews, and retake the Holy Land in the name of Allah and their pedophile prophet Muhammad. That's it. That's all they want to fucking do. We're talking about people who basically offer their children up as human sacrifices for the sake of Allah. They don't even care about their own fucking kids. So why the fuck should we care about them? I mean, their children are innocent, absolutely. They're small children. I don't mean some 15-year-olds with a fucking rocket launcher or something, but like a 5-year-old. Yeah, they're innocent. I take no pleasure in their suffering. But their suffering is the fault of their society. It's the fault of their families, their parents, the ones who purposely breed them for the Ummah, for jihad. The moral responsibility lies on them, not the Israelis, and not us. That's not our guilt. We should stop taking it on. They've done this to them, to their own children, and the fact that they are willing to do that makes me hate them all the more. These people are scum. They need to be conquered. They need to be occupied, and they need to be deported, at the very least. Then I'll just keep it at that for legal reasons. Thanks.
Thank you, Dajjal. Corey?
When you were talking about Egypt, I was just wondering about whether you have some information about Egypt's role in the Middle East these days, because I know back in the day when they were constantly trying to destroy Israel and constantly failing at it, they were trying to be the leaders of the Arab world. But currently, do they have friends and enemies in the region, or do they just keep their heads down? What are the Egyptians really up to anything?
The situation with Egypt is a whole thing of itself. First of all, they have to deal with the Muslim Brotherhood and the fact that majority of Egyptians support supposedly the Muslim Brotherhood. Just to make it clear for the people who don't know, Hamas is an extension of the Muslim Brotherhood. There's a reason Egypt built massive walls, and not just one layer, but multiple layers of walls between them and Gaza. they don't want to be a part of this. They have to deal with their own shit. And Egypt in general, I'll make this incredibly summarized and short, but there's a lot to say about this subject. They are trying to be part of the Arab world, but in a way that will kind of please the Americans because they are dependent on them. It's a complicated thing. There's mainly internal conflict inside of it, just like in Jordan. It's pretty complicated. I'll leave it in that, but that's a whole nother subject. Okay. Super chats.
Ooh. Okay, we have 6. Kevin, thank you so much, Kevin, saying, guys, FYI, my nickname is Cappy. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna try to remember that because you're wearing a baseball. Okay, I'll try to remember. Thank you, Kevin. And Boboism is saying, sorry, Armin, the problem is Islam, not Tehran. Why sorry? That's what I say. Why are you sorry? I'm saying the problem is Islam. But the solution to Islam is in Tehran. Because you have an army of Islamophobes in chain. So if the problem is Islam, unleash a nation of Islamophobes upon the world. So the solution, a major solution to Islam, is liberty in Iran. Then you're gonna basically get a huge army in your fight against Islam. So yeah, even if the problem is Islam, the solution is in Tehran. And thank you, Bobism, for the super chat. And then we got Zipgun with a super chat. Thank you so much, Zipgun, saying, even with the IRGC gone, Qatar, Turkey still exists. Hamas needs to be taken out first. Yeah, Hamas, all of them. Yeah, obviously they're like, without the IRGC, it's not like it's going to be rainbows and butterflies and the whole, like, we're going to have utopia forever and ever for the rest of our lives. Like, that's not going to happen. But it's a major progress. You know, it's going to be a lot easier to deal with Qatar and Turkey without having to worry about the Islamic Republic in the region as well. But you're right. And Amir, thank you so much. Gifted 1 Liberty Politics memberships for somebody in the chat. Thank you. Then now somebody's a member because of Amir. And then we have Jasper saying, our Greet Wilders Freedom Party were convicted for saying in 2014 that there should be less Moroccans in Netherlands, is getting agreement to call in our government back from recess. He has 70 out of 75 votes. See, guys, Netherlands is making a lot of progress. So can you. And thank you, Jasper. And then we have Barmutzel saying, we do not care what they think. We will survive. Yes, you will. You have for more than 2,000 years, for sure. And thank you for the super chat. You're good at that. Fewer. Nailbun is saying fewer. Okay. Okay. What's the next topic?
Okay. Next topic is Noah with Iran gambling network.
Okay.
All right, Armin, I am sending the link to you. This was reported on Reuters. Iran International picked it up. There was a illicit gambling network that helped move at least $4 billion through an unlicensed Dubai-based cryptocurrency exchange called Shabbat. I probably butchered it. It interacts with the Iran Central Bank. They also link up with an exchange network that's also sanctioned and wallets that Israel has linked to the IRGC. From the looks of it, I think Dubai is already beginning to crack down on it. But I mean, we knew this that they were doing this. They were moving assets in via crypto, via gold, via almost anything. But now we have some info on this, but we don't know how much more they are doing it. I mean, there's got to be at least more than 4 billion that they're moving around, but that's just part of it. But I thought you'd be interested in this, Armin.
Yeah, so let me actually give you guys a summary. So this is a Reuters report that uncovered a $4 billion crypto laundering scheme linked to the regime in Iran. The network used an unlicensed Dubai exchange, Shieldbit, to process funds for the regime. Over $125 million was tied directly to the Central Bank of the Islamic Republic alongside IRGC-linked crypto wallets. The IRGC took control over 2,000 gambling portals in previous years to channel assets across the Persian Gulf region. So, and there are so many influencers, by the way, involved in this, like online personalities on Instagram who promote these gambling sites. And the gambling sites, like there's a huge, like in Iran, there's so many people who keep promoting, and in Turkey as well, in Turkey, there's so many people who are promoting these gambling sites. And the Iranian people always say that, guys, these gambling sites are owned by IRGC. Stop listening to these, Iranian online influencers promoting them. And now we have more information that, yeah, it's not just, the IRGC is not just making money off of gambling sites, but they're also using it as a way to use gambling portals as a way to move money around, right? Also, one thing else is interesting. This is a lot of this is linked to Binance. And Binance has been very involved in helping, providing ways to move money for the Islamic Republic. And the owner of Binance, or who the main guy in charge, got in trouble and got prison sentence for that. But he was pardoned by President Trump, if I remember. He was pardoned. The main head of Binance, I don't know the CEO, the owner, I forgot his name, but he was pardoned by President Trump. I think because of him helping President Trump with his own crypto stuff, if I remember correctly. But I have to look into details for that. But so $676 million moving from Shibit linked addresses to Binance. So this shows that Binance is continuing to support this. Transfers took place between 2024 and 2026 through an illicit gambling and crypto network. Over 540 million reached Binance after regulators penalized Shieldbit for unlicensed activities. The network funded capital on behalf of the central bank. Yeah, we already know that part. So yeah, that's this is like a whole world by itself. And basically, this is the way to bypass sanctions by United States. I don't know if anybody else knows anything about this. Let me see.
There are no, there are no response. So.
Oh, here, I found this. So President Trump, in 2025, President Trump officially pardoned Binance founder Changpeng Zhao, otherwise known as CZ, following his 2024 prison sentence. The decision followed extensive lobbying and commercial intersection between Binance and the Trump family's World Liberty Financial Venture. So President Trump has World Liberty Financial Venture that Binance has been helping with. So I don't know, you guys want to look into that and see how accurate this is or not.
What I will say is that there are a few people that Trump pardoned. They're very shady, and a few of them are on trial for different things, but that is a subject for another time. There's a lot of controversy around the people that Trump pardoned and what they were doing and keep doing. Steph, did you want to to respond, or was it supposed to be a heart?
Oh, that's a heart, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So super chats then.
Okay, 2 super chats. We got one from Lior saying, shout out to Sapir and Guy. Great stream today. A+. Yeah, I've heard that it was really good. Monkey was watching the end of it, and when he was getting ready for our live stream, he was laughing out loud, listening to you guys having fun at the very end. So I know Monkey was enjoying it. I felt jealous that Monkey gets to watch that, and I didn't get to watch it. But I'm hearing so many good takes on you guys talking to each other on Guy's channel, so that's nice. Good, yeah. So there's that. Guys, go check it out. Sapir and Guy talking. What was the topic today? You guys, what were you talking about?
So we were mainly talking about the Hamas deal, but then it devolved to the coming elections and different politicians. There was a lot of focus on Ben Gvir today, which is a very unique subject, talking about Ben Gvir. So yeah, I think you can watch the history of the stream, but we had actually like a lot of new viewers, which was really nice to see. We got to like 400 viewers at some point, and that was amazing.
Wow, nice.
But me just have really good synergy together, so just it's fun to do streams with them.
You know, I always wanted to find a way to highlight you, Sapir, and now that I couldn't find a way to now that Guy, we're promoting Guy's channel, that's a great way, you know, because on now we've got room for Sapir and Liberty Politics as well. So I'm really happy that worked out. This is why we keep trying to expand our team, so that we could make room for highlighting more people. So nice. And then we got Alexia with celebrating 2 months of membership, saying Payande Iran Javid Shah. Thank you for that, Alexia. Payande Iran Javid Shah. Appreciate that. And that was beautiful. Oh, did I highlight this? Yes, I did, Leo. Okay. So
okay, let's move to the next topic.
Yes, sorry.
So Helda on Pahlavi.
Hi all, can you hear me?
Yes.
This is just a suggestion that I've been thinking about for a while. You know, the one thing that I think that we have to give Bernie credit for back when he ran on his first campaign was he was instrumental in showing us the power of the grassroots movement. You know, the majority of the work that he did, you know, and how he was able to get so many people behind him, you know, without, you know, focusing initially on those, you know, political dollars, I think was really telling as to how much the people really can be inspired. So I've been wondering why, or if it's possible for you specifically to invite Pahlavi to have an interview and try to broach it specifically to continue to develop that grassroots movement, because Pahlavi, much like Bernie, but more so, really does inspire people. You know, I mean, yes, I mean, we need politicians, et cetera, but if we can get even more people into this movement, then that's going to pressure politicians. And I think that he, or maybe one of his staff members, et cetera, might welcome the opportunity to be able to speak with people. And it's just a suggestion.
Speak to people, like, because he speaks to people often, like what?
No, I mean, like on streams, like for example, yes, he gives his speeches, yes, he has interviews, but I'm talking about being able to interview with various YouTubers, you know, that are dissidents or Iranian supporters that have a strong base. You know, you have a strong base. Not only do you have all of us and all the people that we, you know, in some way, you know, touch base with, but you also have a strong YouTube following. And I think that it could be a very powerful movement to help. You know, just reach out to people that maybe don't know, want to know, would like to hear more, Would like to have the opportunity to hear him being interviewed by somebody that we're familiar with. It's just an idea.
Yeah, I will. I mean, I will try to reach out. I mean, I don't think like to be fair to Princess of Pahlavi, he has talked to big channels and small channels. One time he showed up on a show on a channel with 3,000 subscribers. He was a guest there, even though as his peak popularity. One time he just went live on Instagram by himself and was responding to the comments in the live chat, right? These days it's a bit more difficult to do that because everybody is waiting for him to say something that they could take out of context, and he's so much in demand. But he has a history of making himself available as much as possible. Right now he has a team around him that manages things more than they did before, and they're a lot more structured about it. So I think that they have a lot of reasons that they will not share with us for why he would accept an invitation and he wouldn't somewhere else. I'm pretty sure they have their good reasons, but you're right though. I mean, there's no harm in reaching out, so I will reach out. But I just want to use this opportunity to remind people, like one time he just showed up on a channel with two Iranians, and they had 3,000 subscribers, and he was just answering these two people's questions, and there were just two young people with 3,000 subscribers. So that's pretty crazy, and he did that multiple times. So
that's exactly what I mean. I just think that you've got a really strong reach, and I think that it could really help. I mean, him, Iranians, everybody. That's all. And even if he just sent like one of his staff members, that's anyway.
Let me tell you what.
Just,
I've already talked to us. I interviewed with two of his staff members already on the Persian channel. Two of his direct staff members, like his right hand man. I had a very historic interview with Saeed Qaseminejad that changed so much because my suggestion to him on the show made it to Iran Prosperity Project, and it went viral, and it made it into the project, right? So I did meet with Saeed Qaseminejad. I also met with Nejad Bahrami. I had a show with him. And Nejad Bahrami, which is an author of the Iran Prosperity Project, he has praised me multiple times on his own show, which is like quite an honor. I did, contact his team, asking if I could have an interview with Princess of Pahlavi. They were so nice to actually respond and say it's not possible, and they were very nice about it. And honestly, here's the thing. Here's something I shouldn't say, because if I was selfish, but I will say it, okay? Because if I was thinking about my own interests, I shouldn't say this, right? If I was on Princess of Pahlavi's team and they say that Armin wants to, they know me, by the way, they know me, right? They say, well, Armin Navabi wants to interview with Princess of Pahlavi. Should we do it? If I was on his team, I would say no, right? And here's like, don't interview Armin Navabi, right? And here's what I would do it. I have a history of anti-Islam activism. I have burned the Quran, right? And I have said so many aggressive things against Islam. And Princess of Pahlavi interviewing me is too much. Like doing an interview with me is too much, especially with the fact that we want Muslim, non-Muslim unity against the Islamic Republic. Him being in a show with me is too much. So I shouldn't say that. That goes against my interest in saying that. But to be honest, if I was on his team, I would be like, don't interview this guy.
Okay. Alexia, did you want to respond? Alexia?
Alexia, the button, it's a little microphone. It's all the way to the left at the bottom. Do you see that? If you just click that, it should be gray again, and then your microphone's on. Do you see that?
Because I've heard some people that they not actually see even the buttons themselves. So
She says
if you don't see any buttons at the bottom, I'm just saying to Alexa because she's muted. So because some people in school, they have not seen the buttons at all sometimes. And the way you find it is that
Okay, it's
You
fine.
just scroll your mouse over
Uncle,
where the
Uncle?
bottom, and you'll find the buttons.
Uncle, she's telling us the problem in the chat. So she's saying it's red. Go on, Nail Bunny.
Alexa, you seem to unmuted yourself.
Oh, there you
So
go.
Can you try to talk?
Thank you, Uncle. Uncle Coop, thank you for the help.
Okay, we can't hear
let's move
you.
on. We can't hear you. Sorry, Alexia.
Alexa, if you want, you can type in chat and I can read it out as well.
There we go.
Are there any super chats? Oh,
All right. We can't. It seems to have audio issues. So let's move on.
are there any super chats?
Oh, yes. By the way, before I read the super chat, I think there's a quote by Dijal in the chat, in the group chat, which I'd like to read first. It's a quote by Armin Navabi. Dijal is basically saying that, attributing it to me, saying, Armin Navabi is an unhinged lunatic. Stay away from him. Quote by Armin Navabi. Pretty accurate. Thank you. Love that quote. Charleston Amy with the super chat saying, how did the interview go with Saeed Qasim-Najad? Oh my god, and Najad Bahrami? Both of them were really, really good. I mean, I'm I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of them. So thank you, Charles and Charleston, and thank you for asking. I appreciate you. Appreciate the super chat. All right. So Alexia, I think it's better if you could just write what you want to say, and Sapir has generously offered to read it for you because we seem to have audio issues.
Yeah, because you are unmuted and we heard an echo of myself for a second. And that's something I can help you maybe after the stream to solve it indefinitely. But for now, you can type whatever you want. And if not, we can just move to the next subject.
Before we do, we got another super chat. Sarah complimenting me with a super chat saying, Armin, you never cease to amaze me. You are a gem. Well, thank you, Sarah. Sarah appreciates my honesty. Thank you, Sarah. All right, sorry.
Well, it's more than honesty. You're a sweetheart.
Oh my God. Stop it. Stop. Let's go to topic. Thank you.
Okay, next is Uncle with Zionist execution of Durka executioners.
Yes, thank you very much. I have to preamble a little bit. I was inspired to this topic by two things. One was an article I read yesterday about gut health, that it's important to have proper bowel movement, that you get things, your shit moving, because if you let it be there, it builds up cancers, like the Islamic Republic. And we can draw parallels to Europe and stuff like that. I'm not going to get into it, but you kind of get where I'm going. And the second preamble, and this is the perhaps more important part, is the mafia that is the Islamic Republic, because that's the cancer you get. You get this authoritarian, coercive mechanism that does not only go after you for what you have done, but it will also go after those you love, by association. And that is why I need to kind of like profess this particular preamble, that I liked it so much. It's two parts: the 12-day war and the recent involvement with the Israelis and the Americans. During the 12-day war, I'm sure many of you remembered or might be aware of when the Israelis were striking the Durka commanders. Not only that, they would also call their colleagues and tell them, we have recently taken out this and this colleague of yours so and so many hours ago by that name, and that colleague by that name. And you have so and so many hours to surrender if you value your life and that of your family, which is very much a mafia-style tactic. And usually I would kind of be a little bit like, it's a gray zone when it comes to war. You may not want to be involved in that. But with the Durka Republic, or Durka occupiers, I should say, it's absolutely appropriate, because that's how they've been going about it with the people of Iran. And that's where this main topic gets into the execution of people of Iran. I think one thing that I would love to see, because when you think about it, when the Americans came about and the Israelis could focus a little bit more on the targeting the internal security, the repression apparatus of the Islamic occupiers, like the Basij. That was really sweet, right? Obviously, this goes a good way of what Armin was saying. If you really want this shit to end, you have to liberate the people of Iran. And one of the things that are the obstacle is not only the Basij, but it's also, well, it's kind of a possible providence here. If I recall correctly, the executions that are occurring with the people of Iran, it's a dual dynamic here. If the Islamic occupiers overdo it, then it will cause too much resentment. But at the same time, they have to do it in order to cater to their base, the more extreme part of their base, the Paidaris. Now, I think the Israelis here, what I would love to see is if the Israelis considered the execution of Iranians to be an escalatory trigger, an escalatory step. That is to say, if you don't stop executing Iranian people, we will execute the executioners, those who issue the orders, alongside with their friends and their families and all associates. Any potential.
I wish. Oh my God, I wish.
Right? Because that's exactly what they did during the 12-day war. They basically called them, look, you have the option. If you value your life and that of your family, you will renounce your loyalty to the Islamic Republic. And that is exactly what's going on here. You will stop executing the people of Iran, or those who are involved are going to be considered valid targets. Now, this is where I have to reiterate the initiating point of bowel movements, because you've noticed that the Islamic Republic, they've shut themselves so many times that this time around they have struck everywhere. Saudi Arabia, Egypt. I have not yet to hear anyone mention actually Israel still being targeted, which suggests that the Zionists have adequately intimidated the Durkas, and now they're holding back, right? And if they're holding it, what is happening? That the cancer is kind of just spreading, like it's metastasizing, remetastasizing, and they're starting to kill Iranian people. So, okay, make it a condition. Make it a condition that either you stop executing Iranians or find yourself struck. And then the Islamic Republic would have one of two options. Either they get the Israelis kinetically involved, which is cool, or they can get they can try to risk the Paidaris, the backlash from the extremists. Either way, I think that this should be strongly considered, because regardless of any choices that the Islamic Republic have, be it kinetic activity with the Zionist entity, as they like to put it, or risk their own base shaking underneath with that kind of backlash, it is slap, slap, slappity, boom, boom, kaboom, the Durka. Sweet, sweet. So thank you very much. That was pretty much it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle. Shana?
Yeah, so I think that there's a list of 900 targets from Mossad that I call ghouls, and they are mistakenly called holy men, but I just think they're ghouls. I think that we should start with them because they're the ones who are actively calling for the deaths. And if they were all gone, then there would be nobody to call for the deaths. I'm just saying, 900 targets. You have their names. Unleash the Mossad on them. Unleash the snipers. That's how I feel about that. But also, I do think that we are headed to a point where everybody knows that we either blink or we go all out. I'm seeing that on even like mainstream talking points that are not like hyper focused on international stuff. So I think what Trump has been trying to do, honestly, has actually been trying to stall so that he can build as much stuff as he needs to go full out. But I think that we've gotten to that point where they can't stall. I've wondered, and I don't think this is the primary motive. I think the primary motive is what Armin has talked about, which is to give them the bloodletting that they want. But I have also wondered if this kind of thing is in some ways also a escalation to try to force America's hand before the midterms. That doesn't mean we shouldn't go all out. I'm just saying that that's something that I've considered as well, is that a secondary factor in this, primary factor is the bloodlust, but the secondary factor might be to try to push Trump's hand. And then I also wanted to point out, this is semi-related, but not totally. But I have also, like, the Saudis are not getting as involved as they need to be. And there's kind of a dual problem with that, whereas the Saudis are kind of in a rock and a hard place, because the reality is, I think that the Saudis know that as soon as America doesn't have this conflict distracting us, that we are going to go full reindustrialization and we're not going to need them at all. Like, I mean, with everything that Trump is building, assuming everything goes through, or even 80% of it goes through, oil is going to be, I mean, it's already like less important than it was, but it's going to be even less important. So the Saudis are kind of in a place where I think that's part of why they're dragging their feet, is they know that the IRGC is a problem. It's a problem for them, but an unleashed America, fully reindustrialized, is also not great for them either. So, but yeah, I am with Coping on this. I say that we start with those 900 targets, those goals, and then go from there. That's my stance.
Love it.
Okay, thank you, Shana. Alexia, do you want to try again? Can you find the mic button? I see you unmuted. Can you try to talk?
I'm trying to help.
Oh, I can hear something.
Very low audio.
Yeah.
So maybe we shouldn't be testing it here. Maybe after the stream is over, you guys could test it out, because we're still having some low audio issues. Yep. Let's maybe move on, and then maybe you guys could try it out after the stream is over and see if you could figure out technical issues.
I can try to help you after stream.
Okay.
Are there any super chats?
No super chats.
Okay, then we can move to the next topic, and this is my topic. And it's attacks by the IRGC on Israel. So in the past about week and a half, we had 2 unknown drone attacks that are most likely came from Iran. In both cases, the military, the IDF spokesperson, said that they will update where it came from, but they never did. And more resources has claimed that it's from Iran. We know for a fact that it's not from the Houthis, and we know that there was another one from Lebanon yesterday, but that's a separate thing. So they're most likely from Iran, and the interesting thing is, it's like we're trying to push it away. It's like we are actively, or maybe the US instructed us actively to distance ourselves away from any attack, maybe to have something more organized later. But it's something that was also been talked in the past few days, and people are curious why you're not doing anything about it. And it leads back to the whole idea of, it feels like responses from the US and restraints on Israel, that the responses have been incredibly weak, and they have been a lot of restraints on Israel from doing anything. And people are starting to get concerned that now the IRGC sees America and Israel as weak, and that they will try to do more attacks, and they have been daring more. We saw what happened with Egypt. So that's a development, and something needs to happen, and it needs to happen soon, and it needs to be strong, and it needs to be precise, because there seems to be a very, very dodgy attitude of responding properly, and it's not something you should do in the Middle East, because you're either strong and you show your force, or you're weak and you'll be trampled.
Interesting. I wonder if this is also the Islamic Republic's way, because usually when they attack Israel, they want to announce it. But if this is the Islamic Republic, they're probably not announcing it because they don't want Israel to get involved. They're trying to have their cake and eat it too, because there's so much internal pressure on them on why they're not attacking Israel. Like, it's embarrassing that they're not attacking Israel, because it looks like they're afraid of Israel right now. That's why they're not attacking them. So they want to attack Israel, but without taking credit for it, so that they could so that their followers, the base of support, feels like they have done something, but also not to the point where they're going to get an Israeli response. That's what I think might be happening.
One of those drones have been stopped in Jordan's territory, but they were clearly aimed at Israel. And this is kind of an excuse that our IDF spokesman used, that I didn't cross to Israel border. But we have multiple sources that confirming that the target was Israel. And yeah, you're right about that the IRGC have not said anything about it, and which is very weird and unusual. This entire last month or two have been surreal when it comes to responses and attacks all around. And it's something that bothers me, and it bothers a lot of other people, and I know it's something that bothers a lot of people in general, of what's happening with this war in general. Shauna, you want to respond?
Well, Kobe had a question first, but I'll just read his question real quick. He wanted to know.
You cut out, Shauna?
Shauna, you cut out. Oh, there we go. She's back.
It's the app. You guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Kobe had a question about the Durkas, if they claim credit, but I think you answered that. But I also crap, I got distracted by the cutout, and I forgot my question. I will circle back if I remember. Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
That's have confirmed that the burning strikes, because Sapir was saying that it's kind of quiet in Israel about it. They know for sure it's not from the Houthis, not from Hezbollah, but there's some of the strikes. Like, if I got it correctly, so there are strikes that are not confirmed, and they are suspected to be from Iran. And that's why the question came, like, have the Durkas confirmed any strikes on Israel? Because
they haven't.
Right, because as far as I can tell, they've been pretty quiet about it. They go everywhere, like even Egypt now. But right, so but if they are not even confirming, that's kind of, I don't know what to say about it. Maybe so that suggests, right, get the bowel movements, right? They are scared as fuck. So start to, like, you can start pressing the buttons, like on the executioners. Those are issuing orders. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to digress, but yeah, thank you.
I mean, I think that everything that I remember my thought. Everything that I'm seeing, I think everybody knows that at this point, we're just kind of, it feels like we're just waiting on Trump's call from our commander in chief. And it feels like that's kind of where things are at, is everybody's just delaying until Trump says go, trying to like kind of hold the line and maybe not go full throttle until it's time to go full throttle. I think Trump is in his defense, I mean, I can't imagine the amount of pressure he has on him right now to kind of make this kind of decision, because the thing that he ran on was like no more foreign wars. Now, I don't think this is a new war. However, I also see the libertarians and the ANCAPs like kind of freaking out, being like, this is Iraq 2.0, blah, 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 blah. It's just another neocon interventionism. It's just regime change. It is regime change. It needs to be regime change, but they're, you know, that is part of the media cycle as well, as that group of people, the ISO cucks and the ANCAPs. And so he's getting all this political pressure, and I think we're just waiting on his call. I think we just need to go full scale as much as we can in the next 2 weeks. But he has different advisors in his ears, some like Raising Cane, who are a little bit more conservative in the sense that they want to have a much more delayed tactic. They want to build up a reservoir. They're close to JD Vance, so they probably just don't want to go in at all. And then others who are much more pro, we just need to go and handle this. And then there's those in the base that don't feel like regime change is in our best interest. I don't think that that's an option at this point. I just don't think that leaving the IRGC in place in any form is at any, an option in any way at this point. I think they've kind of just removed that as an option. I know I was listening to Victor Davis Hanson earlier, and he said that there was probably some things that we should have done in the beginning, given where we're at. But Trump was really trying to avoid being in this situation. So that's one opinion and point of view. I don't know. But I think that everybody's, as far as Sapir's part, I feels like everybody's kind of just holding their breath until Trump makes the call. I think that's kind of where we're at.
I'm just hoping that's not gonna happen in like the next week, because I have a flight to catch. They can do it after. So Armin, any super chats?
Yes, two. We have one from Lior, 2 joules from Lior. Thank you so much. And then we have Saber Coaching, which is Raham, with the super chat saying, like, share, subscribe, please. Wallahi, 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 it matters. Yes, wallahi, it does matter. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Yes, guys, thank you everybody who's liking and subscribing and hitting the bell notification, especially to people who share this channel and tell other people to come subscribe. That helps a lot. Word of mouth is the best way to grow this channel. So thank you to everybody who does that. All right, I think that was it for today, right?
Yes,
So-
pretty much. We have like 5 minutes left, and I would like to end the stream if possible and talk a bit about this.
Well, I mean, once we end the stream, you guys have unlimited amount of time. So not just
No, I mean with you present.
Oh, is it about management stuff?
Yes.
I'd rather we do that not here.
Okay.
Is that okay?
I need you to add me back to the WhatsApp mod group then.
What? Let's just talk on WhatsApp.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's not bring moderation stuff in front of the children. Okay, the kids.
The
kids. Let's not fight in front of the kids. Okay, we could. Yeah. We'll go into the car. We turn on the volume very high. Oh wait, hold on. We gotta wait. Alexia with the super chat saying Javicha Payande Iran, much love. Thank you, Alexia. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate that. Thank you so
On
much.
a more funny note, a U.S. official has confirmed we have received intelligence that Iran is trying to pull out the to just continue the negotiations with no meaning. I'm like, wow, who would have thought?
Nobody.
Never.
Never. Not me. All right, guys. We're gonna go live again in 30 minutes on the same channel, so make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys in 30 minutes on Liberty Politics. And you guys in the group, see you guys same time tomorrow. Guys, make sure you consider joining our group, which is the QR code on the top left. The link is in the description as well. We have daily group calls every single day, so hopefully we'll see you guys there at some point. And yeah, until next time, I'm Israel Chai, Slava Ukraine, Cuba Libre, Long Live America, Javid Shah, Payende, Iran. Mwah.
Bye, Armin.